How you doing today? It's Cash Cow back with another video, y'all. Man, today we gonna talk about my boy Frank Castle. I know y'all can't see the shirt. It's kind of so gray on gray, black. Dull black, smoke gray, whatever you want to call it, y'all. Today we gonna do the Lucky 7 comics of the Punisher. These are usually origins or first appearance, second appearance, third, fourth of Punisher. This is usually comics that people go after or they see and they're like, that's a very important book of Frank Castle. Y'all want to see those comics? Stay tuned, y'all. Number one, we got Amazing Spider-Man 175. This is a partial origin of the Punisher, also origin and death of Hitman. It's another character also that's kind of synonymous with Punisher in the comic book stories. He really hasn't gotten a push, or nobody knows who he is in the MCU or TV shows or nothing like that. But for some reason, he's always around with the Punisher. But he's kind of like your C-list, D-list villain, so it is what it is with him. But the reason people get this comic because it's a partial origin of the Punisher. This is like your one that you may find for maybe 20, 30 bucks maybe under that, depending on the grade. Now, if you have a high grade, and say if you have a 9.8 and you have it graded, you probably could sell this for a nice little pretty penny. But for the most part, these comics are sold for those prices. They're sold for under that. So this is like a minor key, but it's actually very important key of the Punisher. Not a bad cover as well. He's finally starting to help Spider-Man, and then the Hitman's trying to kill both of them in the end. So it's crazy, man. That's why you gotta love the Punisher. Like, his story can go, it's all over the place. Like, he starts off as a vigilante and like a hitman for hire, and then becomes an anti-hero, and it's like, you gotta love him, like his style. And then, like, if anybody seen his Netflix shows, this guy's the real deal. Ain't no playing when it comes to Punisher. Just saying, ain't no playing when it comes to him. People get killed. That's it. Like, you out of there. So, I just got a feeling that if they do a reboot, and I hope they do, and I'm pretty sure they'll do a TV show, because if they do it the way the comics are and the way Frank Castle's character really is, a TV show is the best route to go, because he's too violent for, like, he has a lot of stuff going on to where movies wouldn't really give him a justice. That's why I think the show did so well on Netflix, because it was brutal. Like, it was brutal. Like, him and Jigsaw fights were crazy. Like, what is going on? I hope he do. I'm hoping that the same person that played him in Netflix shows, that recast him, like, that guy was nice. So we'll see on that, guys. We'll see. Fingers crossed on that one. Next, number 6, we got Giant Size Spider-Man, Punisher, and the Punisher, number 4. This is his 4th appearance. It's another one of his minor keys, but it's starting to step up in its own price value. It's starting to become a little bit more It's starting to go up there. You know, it's not your. You shouldn't have to spend $50 to get it. That's for the most part. That's also we got a few low grade. Well, no, for the most part, like you should be able to. It's actually hovering under. I would say the $40-$30 range for a decent grade. Now low grades they tend to whoever sell them for what they can. Like we not gonna make no mistake about that. But I like this cover, like Spider-Man in prison, Punisher in prison, and he just light them up. Like this dude don't play around. They wanted him. Whoever paid the money wanted him to get Spider-Man, and he was on him. Gotta love that, man. Gotta love that. Like Punisher is that guy. I know y'all can't see that, and I hate that because this is one of my favorite shirts to wear. Gotta love the Punisher, man. You got to love the Punisher. Number 5, we got Punisher number 1, 1986. This is his first solo series, first titled solo series. Now you do have a Punisher number 1. I want to say 1987, maybe. Comes out a year later. People go after that comic too, but it's not as sought after as this one. This one also has it to where, excuse me, it's a limited series, so it's 1 through 5. It's a 5-part series. Marvel did this thing back in the day where they did superheroes or anti-heroes or whatever. They did them in a limited series, so you may get 4, you may get 5, 6, maybe. This is the one that people like go after first when it's Punisher number 1. They'll prefer this copy over the Punisher number 1 1987 version. I actually like the cover on this one better anyway. Now they do have a newsstand variant, guys, so be on the lookout for that. Try to get your newsstand variant if you can. I actually just picked up one the other day in the mail, and I got another. It wasn't a newsstand variant, but I was like, I just got a feeling that they're gonna do something again with the Punisher. So I can't wait. Like I just get that feeling like you have to. You have to keep the story going with the Punisher. You have to. I don't care what y'all say. You have to. Now, this is where it gets tricky, right? We have the Amazing Spider-Man 134. Now, this is the, if I'm not mistaken, of Tarantula. And this cameo, the second cameo appearance, it's a cameo of the Punisher. Now people are like, so some people debate it as it's the second appearance of the Punisher. Some people say it's the cameo. I'm just gonna be technically correct. It's a cameo appearance. It's not a full appearance. But this comic is actually worth something because it's the first appearance of the Tarantula, which nobody knows if that'll ever get out there, but the cameo of Punisher is what makes this valuable. So, just saying, guys, like these copies, man, y'all gotta snatch them up. Like, people are gonna start going after these. If Punisher gets his reboot and is done by the MCU, he is gonna get a reboot, and his comics. The first appearance has already gone through the roof. And then you have his origin, the first really big origin that's going through the roof. You have to understand that if he's getting done where he's going to continue to have season after season after season, his comics are only going to get hotter. It's just the way it goes. Once Marvel stamps their approval on it, like if the Netflix show was still going, yeah, because it was that good. Just saying. Next, we got number 5. We got the Amazing Spider-Man 135. Now, the other one I just showed you is 134. That was the second and that was the cameo appearance of him. Some people consider it a second appearance. Some people say that's a cameo. This is his third appearance, but technically his second full appearance. See what I said? It kind of gets tricky. You have to understand, like, some people are going to really pay attention, or some people know their comic book history, and they're like, yeah, that's his cameo. That's his full appearance. So this technically is his third appearance, because it's cameo, but it's his second full appearance, if that makes sense. Because Amazing Spider-Man 129 is his first appearance. He appears in it. Like, it ain't no joke. I like the way this cover is with Spider-Man with the big black spider behind him. You got Punisher, of course, like trying to gun some down. You got Tarantula again. Jonah Jameson. Like, man, what is you saying? This also comes with a Marvel value stamp, guys. So if you're going to get the comic and you're going to spend top dollar on it, make sure you get you one with a Marvel value stamp. Whether it's low grade, high grade, whatever. Try to get you one with a Marvel value stamp. That increases the value. That way, if you go to get it graded, it's actually a completed comic. If it does not have the Marvel value stamp, it is not a complete comic. That is very big when it comes to comics if you have that value stamp. Always pay attention to that, guys. Remember I said that. And that issue comes right after Amazing Spider-Man 134. So pay attention to the comics that have the Marvel value stamps. Just remember I told you that, guys. Alright? And you like how you can also like tell the difference. Punisher's not on this cover, right? That's how you configure that's a cameo. He's not really in it heavy. But then you look at this one, what does it say at the bottom? You see your boy Frank Castle, and you see the return of the Punisher. He's fully in this comic. He's going after Spider-Man, Tarantula, whoever in this comic. That's also another way of how you can tell the difference. Like, if you pay attention to the covers, I know a lot of people are made, like, the cover is really what pops to them. That's how you can also pay attention. Usually comics like that, for the most part, now you do have some special occasions, but if it's a cameo, they tend to not be on the cover. Now you do have some comics where they're, hey, it's the exception to the rule. It's always the exception to the rule. But how they did stuff back then is if the person was on the comic, they usually was on the cover. So, yeah, it is what it is. Number 6, we got Marvel Preview. Number 2. This is the big origin comic of him. Also the first appearance of Dominic Fortune. But, I mean, like, guys, like, look at that, man. Like, that's just crazy because, like, Punisher's in a room and he just gunning down people. Like, got a guy over there with an AK. He blasted him out the window. Dude got a pistol with a... Man. Like, Punisher knows his weapons. But people go after this comic because this is his first origin. Kind of goes into his story, explains him more as a character to get you mentally and physically like understanding like this is why he does what he does. He's not just an assassin, he's not a hitman. This is what drives him. Now this book is bigger, like the Marvel Preview books are bigger than regular comics, so make sure you have the cover that can fit those. But people actually seek this. They can't get their hands on the first appearance. They usually go after the second appearance, which is Amazing Spider-Man 135. They can't get that. They usually tend to go after this as well. This is very important. This is his origin, guys. Like that's important. Don't sleep on origin stories or second or third appearance, especially if the first appearance is really high and trying to afford it. Go after the second appearance. Go after his first origin. people actually will buy those comics, guys. Just saying. Last but not least, and I'm pretty sure you guys have figured it out. Like, if you're gonna do a top 7 Punisher keys to have in Lucky 7, you gotta have what? His first appearance. What is he saying? Amazing Spider-Man 129. This is a classic cover, y'all. He has Spider-Man and his crosshairs on there. He trying to gun the man down. The man flipping head over, trying to get off a building. He caught off guard. He's like, who is this crazy maniac with a skull on his shirt that's trying to just like riddle me with bullets? This comic alone has seen so many increases in gains, it's not even funny. And people normally, you would be like, okay, they took the Netflix show off. It's been almost 3 years since you've seen anything Punisher. This comic has continued to get hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter. This is the grill. If you can afford that, get that. I'm telling you. Now you do have some reprints. Watch out for that, guys. We got a reprint. It won't have a 20 cent over there. It'll be like Lionsgate somewhere on the thing. I don't really worry about all that because I know I have the first appearance. I definitely will be sending this in to get graded. But that's just like, man, I remember when I got this. And it was maybe like 3-4 years ago. And somehow I managed to pull it out. I got it for like $210. And I was like, are you serious? And I was like, I'm not getting rid of that. That's a grill comic. I'm keeping that. And next thing you know, like, this thing is, come on now. It gets you serious. Man, like I said, his assignment killed Spider-Man. Also, it's the first appearance of the Jackal. It's another character, kind of like the Hitman. It don't really mean anything. But, hey, in the comics, they wanted you to think any character could do what, but you knew, like the cover, you knew it was going to be Spider-Man and Punisher. At the end of the day, they could eliminate everybody else. You knew it was going to be Peter versus Frank. You knew what you was getting. That's my lucky 7 on Punisher. Now, you do have your, like I said, you do have your Punisher number 1, 1987, which starts off his first series, like, complete run. You have a Del Alto variant cover that's actually sells pretty well. I think just like Original Sins number 4, I will say. A little rusty, but I own that memory. But I think it's Original Sins number 4, and I think it's a Del Alto variant. You guys might want to check that out as well. You have the Punisher War Armor one that actually may become valuable if he appears in the Armor Wars series. So those comics are as well are valuable. Like, you have a few out there that mean something, but these 7 are usually some of the most highly sought after comic book covers or comics of Frank Castle, aka the Punisher, aka Lay Him Down, ain't playing no games. This is my lucky 7 of Punisher. You guys be safe. Be sure to comment, like, share, subscribe. I'm going to just keep cranking these videos out every now and then. I believe in showing you the comics majority of the times, instead of posting pictures and telling you guys, hey, get this and that. How can I tell you about getting the comic if I don't have the comic, right? So I'm doing my best to just stick to that motto. So you guys ride with me, continue to watch the videos, have fun if you can, comment on it if you can, share it. Hey, this guy be putting out some stuff. Look at the keys he got. Y'all take it easy. Cash Cow out.